Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Says So. I'm your host, King 053, Mr. Easy, Imali, Nenge. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I told you about the story of the two ActionSA people that were, what do we call it? Hijacked and kidnapped and left somewhere in the bush. Luckily, they found them. As I was recording the video, I was saying, listen, pray for them, keep them in your thoughts. And, in this election time, politics is not something that you would want to die for. These people have got families and everything. And indeed, I wouldn't say the police found them, but the robbers left them somewhere in the field where they had to found their way to civilization, and they found somebody. There was a police van that passed them, did not want to stop, and it's funny in South Africa. My heart sank when I heard this story because they were targeting the premier candidate of ActionSA. It looks like they were targeting him personally. So I wanted to say thanks to everyone who has kept them in their prayers. We don't want the election campaigning season of South Africa or the 2024 election to be clouded with bad stories. Remember, we as South Africa, we are almost the African leader when it comes to clean, credible, auditable, free, fair elections. Like most countries look up to South Africa when it comes to that. So, people getting kidnapped while campaigning is not a good story. But let's listen to them. They finally back in campaigning again. There's no time for soaking and crying. They're back in the campaigning season again. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for praying for them. Let's pray for the other parties. Let's not take this situation light. Let's pray that there is no bloodshed in this election campaign time. 2 weeks, 3 weeks left for the 29th to come. Nobody must be killed. Nobody must be harmed. Nobody must be arrested. No unnecessary things must not happen in our 2024 election season. Please, guys, it's very important. And speak to your families not to have what do they call a political tolerance. You don't need to hate and fight a person of the EFF. You don't need to hate and fight the person of the DA. You don't need to hate anyone of the ANC and then physically threaten them or even verbally so. Let's leave other people to make their political choices. Let's go make our cross on the the ballot, the 3 ballots that we're going to be given. That's very important. Thank you so much, guys. Let's listen to what the two victims of the crime had to say.
Funzi Ngobeni, the premier candidate of Gauteng, with Hluphi Gafane. She's ActionSA Youth Forum chairperson. My day started as a normal campaign day. We were campaigning in Orange Farm from in the morning around 10 o'clock with all our activists and the councillors who are deployed there. We also had Ronin as well, obviously coming to amplify our campaign. He normally does that with pulling the trailer and with sound as well, And on this day, his generator was not playing ball, and we tried, but it didn't work. And I said to him, look, you know what? Hluphi has offered us a generator in the past. Let me ask her whether the offer still stands. And maybe we can get a generator for you, We still have about 23 days to go, so we can't afford for Ronin to be driving around without sound coming from his speaker. So I spoke to Hluphi and she graciously said, look, it's still there. You can come and fetch it when you are done, wherever you are. And I did, I spent a bit of time in Everton before I drove to Centurion, to Olivenholt. and that's where Hluphi stays. And I arrived there at around just after 6:30 maybe. And I could see there was a car following me, but you know what, I took it for granted. But I also said, let me see whether this car is actually following me. So I went around the street to see whether this car was actually following me. It disappeared, and I thought, okay, that's fine. And I parked at Hluphi's house. The generator was ready for me inside the yard, just at the gate. And she was assisting me to carry it and putting it in the bakkie, you know. At that time, that's when the three guys walked to us, you know, and they obviously had guns, and their instructions were very clear that they've been looking for me, and we must get into the car, both of us, you know. Poor Hluphi, she didn't have her shoes on that time, on her shorts, and they drove away with us to some place that we don't know, and we got there maybe after an hour or so, after a very long drive, and they went into the bush with us, made us to lie on the ground facing down. We followed all the instructions that they were giving us, including asking for my bank cards, because Hluphi had nothing. She didn't have a cell phone. They took my cell phone, they took my bank cards, my laptop, which was in the car, my IDs, you know, and my license, driver's license. So everything is gone. But what is important is that our lives were spared, you know, and we are still here. We are able to tell the story, but most importantly, we are also able to take this lesson, reflect on it, and you know, increase our resolve to really fix South Africa. And for me, as a provincial chair, I think I'm even more committed to fight crime in this province, working side by side with the SAPS, working side by side with our local police, you know, working side by side with our crime wardens, as they call them, working side by side with our you know, police forums and patrollers who are working extremely hard on the ground, saving our communities with nothing to expect, you know. So it's a big fight, it's a huge fight. We don't know whether we'll be able to win it, but we need to make sure that the generation that comes after us do not experience what we have experienced. And I think Hluphi can speak further about, you know, what the response that we got from the police, you know, because really it was terrible. I mean, you are then being left at no man's land. You don't know whether you should go south or not. It's late at night, but we managed to get help, and eventually we also get assistance from the police.
But before we got help, a police van actually drove past us. I have to highlight that. Yes, we tried to stop them, but they drove past. However, from my mom's experience at the police station, I know she got really frustrated. However, I believe the commissioner then made contact with the station commander, and that's when the matter was only then taken very seriously. From our point of view, mine especially, we don't want sympathy, and we are not special to anyone in this country. I think such cases, such matters should be resolved and taken seriously per case, not just us. So, however, the police officers who actually came to pick us up and those who have taken over the case, I do send greatest appreciation to them. They came this morning again, interviewed me, went through the statement, and came to my house where the incident actually took place and investigated further. So from us, we just hope that the law actually takes its course to the might of it, and these perpetrators actually get apprehended. So.